What's going on, everybody? I figured I'd do a little video on something a little bit different. I really enjoy cooking, so this next video is gonna be just about that. I think it was last Christmas we roasted a whole pig, and it was a lot of fun. And this is something we do a lot in Puerto Rico, at least this style. And it was my first time. I really wanted to try it, and it was a ton of fun. And it was delicious. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and you get something from it, and hopefully you guys can roast a pig and tell me about it too.
Oh, right. So first thing we're gonna do is get a whole bunch of garlic. If you know anything about roasting a pork, you know that a lot of garlic is what you want. We're gonna be putting that in with about 1.5 cups of olive oil, and then we're gonna add some ground pepper, about 1 tablespoon. Then the magical adobo, about the same amount. Remember that this has salt, so put that into consideration. There we have oregano. Oregano is special. Make sure you have it in there. About 2 tablespoons or 1.5 tablespoons. Here we have some bay leaves. 2 packets of sazon con color, like me. That means with color, none of that pale stuff. And of course is sazon Goya, porque si es Goya tiene que ser fill in the blank. Here we have some cumin. Some paprika. That cumin was probably like 1 teaspoon, and about the same amount of paprika. And this one is very important. The mustard. The mustard helps everything stick to the pork. And I learned this from people that have been barbecuing for years, and it just makes it adhere, and it makes the meat always be moist and not dry out. So it's gonna help out a lot. And let's not forget, this one is important, vinegar and orange juice. These two work really well together, the acidity. I'm going to add here a lemon in addition, just because that acidity helps out a lot. You know how to make mojo. You know those are pretty much the ingredients that go into making a mojo. Vinegar, oil, orange juice, and lime juice. And you have almost a perfect mojo. But what we're trying to do here is turn it all into a paste. So I'm going to put it in the NutriBullet, and I'm going to blend it for a little bit and try to get it as smooth as possible, because we're going to take this and we're just going to put it all over the pork. And you want to make sure that that is in every crevice that you can find, in between bones, under skin, as much as you can get it everywhere as possible. The original idea here was to try to inject it into the pork, you know how they do with turkey, but that was not easy, so I didn't get to do that. Anyways, here with the salt, you have to be generous, because it's you know, this one in particular, I think it was about a 30-pound pork, or 30-pound, whole hog. And you want about 1 teaspoon per pound is what I found in my research that would work the best. And I got to tell you, it worked. It worked. Now, I didn't put all the salt that I needed here. I put some here, and then I applied some more later on as needed. And believe me, it was not salty. It was exactly how it needed to be. Now again, I try to inject all this stuff into the pork. So I mixed it a little bit with orange juice to see if I could get it through a syringe, but it just was not working. That was not gonna happen. So I put some of the mixture in here, and I left some some paste by itself, and I just pretty much doused the whole hog with this orange juice, and it also, it was fine. It was time for experimenting for me because I had never done this before, but I was pretty aware of what I had to do to not mess it up, because I wanted everybody to eat that day, and I didn't want to leave everybody still craving the roast pork that I promised everybody, that I had been promising for months. So I made sure that I didn't mess up. Alright, so here, basically I just wanted to clean up this hog as best as I could. I had been asking my grandmother and my grandfather to see what was the best things that I could do to keep it clean and keep it nice. Yeah, this part here was pretty funny. Just watch this for a second. Oh. Yep, some of those pork juices fell in my face. It was pretty disgusting. But anyways. Yeah, I get kind of childish every once in a while. Anyways, check this out. I want you to hear this. If you get cringy easily, this is not for you. So you might want to skip this. Basically, what I wanted to do was just open the pig up as much as possible to get, all that seasoning in there. And then again, just washing, getting all the blood and stuff out. And, same thing with the top. It always freaked me out every time I would look at its face. But there's a first time for everything, and this was the first time for me. Now I'm going to dry everything, the inside and the outside. I'm going to try to make as many incisions in these parts as I can in all four hams. And in these incisions that I'm making is where we're going to stuff all this paste that I made before. Here we're pretty much doing the same thing, but on the top side, and trying to put as much of this mojo paste that I made, mojo garlic paste, all over the place, just as much as I can. Here I'm putting some just dry mixture that I made after with oregano, ground pepper, and salt. Again, taking into consideration the amount of salt that I put in the paste, so that it wouldn't be way too salty or salty at all. I wanted it to be perfect. Now we're gonna do the bottom part, or the inner part. All those incisions that we made before. Here's where we're gonna put all that seasoning. Now you won't see it here in the video because for some reason I completely forgot to record when I put it on the rotisserie pole, and it wasn't hard, but you do have to make sure that it's tied down pretty well. I used wire to tie it to the pole, but you want to make sure it's really secure on there, because you don't want the pork to fall off the pole while it's cooking, which is very likely because it is heavy. So what you want to do is you want to go through either the neck or under the skin on the spine, and just tie it to the pole and secure it as best as possible. And here at the end, what I'm gonna do is just pretty much just put it in a couple of garbage bags. That's where I'm gonna let it rest, just so that it marinates as good as possible. You really want this mojo to penetrate the meat as best as possible for at least a couple of hours. All right, so now we're about hour and a half into the rotisserie. We don't have an electrical rotisserie, so we had to spin it by hand, but it was fun. Had a couple of friends over, and we had a blast. Yeah, 3 hours in, and man, look at that color. I was getting worried that the inside wasn't getting cooked, so my way around that was to use an internal temperature thermometer. What we were looking for was about 160 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit for internal temperature, and I checked all the thicker parts, as you can see here. It was perfect around the 4 hour, 4.5 hour mark. I really thought it was going to take a lot more time, but I was pretty happy with this temperature reading. And what I did after that was I got more coals burning, and I put it in the box to get all that skin to crisp up. That ended up working great because that skin came out super crispy, super delicious, and very flavorful. Anyways, here's the end result. Meat for days. It was delicious. Very good taste. I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that you guys try it out. If you've never roasted a pork, you should give it a try. Do it for the first time. There's a lot of videos other than this one. Just watch a whole bunch of them and follow the instructions. All right, Average Joes. This was Average Joe Cooking Edition. I hope to see you guys soon. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!